Joining us now, Melissa Armo, founder and owner of the stock Swoosh. Melissa, I know we've got a lot to unpack here. Why don't we start out with the road ahead for Tesla? We know the expectation is for them to report, for Tesla to report revenue of more than $27 billion, EPS expected to be 75 cents a share. But sometimes it's obviously not about, for any of these companies, a lot of it's about guidance, but also what does the future look like, and that really matters a lot, especially when it comes to Tesla. Is that your point of view for Tesla?
Definitely. And I will say this, the market has been rallying, but Tesla really hasn't been going with the market the last few days. It's kind of been lagging since 2025 started. And remember, we never got to that $500 target in Tesla at the end of 2024. We got close, but we didn't quite get there. Tesla had such an enormous move since the election, November and December, that my expectations for Tesla are that it could move higher, could finally get up over that $500 number. I would be shocked, to be honest with you, if Tesla reacts negative on the earnings tonight. Again, it's best to wait to see exactly what the stock's going to do unless you're already currently in the stock. But I have high expectations of this. They've been moving forward with AI. Musk is into this robots, and it just seems like he's always at the forefront of everything. So expect that he's going to discuss AI and new things that they're going to do in the future. So I really think that what we saw in 2024, the last earnings for Tesla, are the start of something big. The stock had been in a downtrend for quite a while when the market was bullish, and then it finally flipped around, like I said, last earnings and then the last 2 months of 2024. So I think it could have a huge move. Tesla is one of the stocks that I wouldn't be surprised doubles in the next 12 to 24 months, just even from where the price is at today, which is around a little bit under $400 this morning.
Do you think that when you say you wouldn't be surprised to see it double, do you think that's about the deliveries, the amount of vehicles it moves, whether it's its current lineup, the new lower price model, which we don't have a lot of details on, or the robo-taxi service that's supposed to launch later this year, or simply his cozy relationship with the president?
But it all goes together, don't you see? I mean, again, one of the problems with EVs has been the cost and then the lack of charging stations. So I wouldn't be surprised with his relationship with Trump at some point down the road, whether it's this year or next year, start to implement something where then they will have more charging stations, and then it'll be easier for people, plus the cost having been lowered, to actually use electric vehicles. It's very difficult if you have to charge the car. It takes a long time. There's not that many around. So again, it's not as convenient as you'd like to think. So I think his relationship with Trump, benefits him greatly, to be honest with you.
Okay, and then let's talk a little bit about the other heavy hitters from the Mag 7 that'll be reporting later today. Got Microsoft in focus as well as Meta. Why don't we pick up with Microsoft? Expectation going into that, Street looking for earnings of $3.11 a share, revenue of more than 68, nearly 69 billion. But I wonder if the focus is not even going to be that and its performance to that, but if the Street will be asking questions about how much does this DeepSeek news pose a threat to Microsoft and its positioning within AI. What's your view?
Well, again, 2 days ago, the stock was down absolutely huge when that news came out over the weekend about DeepSeek, and then obviously NVIDIA was down as well. So it's a concern. All of these companies are really in a race to move ahead with AI, but the problem is that they've invested so much money into it. And when DeepSeek came out, obviously they had something where they had invested so much money into it. So it will be interesting to see if they discuss this on the call. But after Microsoft was down huge, it had an enormous rally. And I know we're going to talk about Meta, the same thing too. Meta actually had a bigger rally. There also is talk still about this TikTok. Could one of these companies potentially buy TikTok too? And will that be discussed on any of the earnings calls tonight? I don't think Musk is going to buy TikTok, and even though people were discussing that. It could be maybe Microsoft or Meta. Meta, to me, seems like the more likely pick for that. And that almost got to $700 yesterday. So I don't think of all these companies, which are definitely going to affect the market between now and tomorrow morning, I don't think all of these companies are going to react bullishly. Something might fall on the earnings tonight.
Just to really quickly jump in, I do think Meta does make more sense as a likely fit, but I don't know if they would be the front runner as far as the some of the details that I've seen or commentary that I've seen. But really quickly, what's your expectation for Meta to come up in its earnings call or with regard to its numbers, Melissa?
Well, it's been doing very well. In fact, Meta's been moving ahead of the market. Remember, the market didn't make new highs yesterday. It's been a little bit sluggish, even though it rallied, had that huge gap down the other day. Meta really didn't react that negatively to that news and then flipped completely around. It made brand new all-time highs yesterday. Again, if that continues, it will definitely get over 700 in the earnings. And if it doesn't, it could fall. But I don't think that's a stock that could fall that much. And even if it does fall and gap down on the earnings, it could get bought. And don't forget, we have the Fed meeting today. So it's kind of like a cyclone tonight because we have Fed today.
Yes.
Then we have all of these three earnings, and it's going to be crazy trading between now, tonight, and tomorrow morning.
It's true. There is a lot to move on today, a lot of catalysts for market action today. All right, Melissa Armo, thank you so much for the setup into the big tech earnings we've got today. She's the founder and owner of the Stock Swoosh.